Alright, what's up, Go enthusiasts? Hello, everybody. Commentary starts now. You guys see the beginning of this game? This is Alex versus Ningan Duan. Yeah, Alex, of course, playing white, is the player I'm rooting for here. But Ningan Duan is a very strong player, I think from Vietnam originally. He was coming to these tournaments to try to win. He's really, really good. So this is not going to be an easy game necessarily for Alex here. But yeah, Alex has white and Ningan has black. You might see there's a weird Joseki in the bottom right. Yeah. Black started with yeah, let me define the corners here first of the board as best I can. Hopefully that works. It does not. Okay. This is a big problem. They've got to keep a corner of the board on the camera in order for the corner thing to work. The board must be fully. I'll text that there. But I can draw at least. So that stone, black played the 6-4 to start. So it went, yeah, A. Oh, I can't even draw the A's. I can only draw with the thing. But anyway, it was that stone, and then Alex 3-3'd, and then pressed, and then he slid. Like that. That's a pretty interesting start. Also, we've got an interesting variation in the bottom left here, where Alex used the Hane first, and then the peep, and then black chose to go back and capture immediately, which is not a common choice there. Michael Redmond was suggesting that black should play that move instead of capturing when he did pro call commentary, which seems reasonable to me. This way, it looks like Alex makes a pretty nice shape in general. The black shape being very thick is helpful for the corner. But in general, the white stones are working together well with that, with the wall, it seems. And the sort of reduction method that Alex has set up, where these stones are pretty light and loose, is stopping those stones from being useful. And the bottom right corner is locally good for white, of course. Alex knows about that. Yes, thank you. Someone has edged the board just barely, and that's all that we needed. Yeah. Hurrah. Okay. I'll let them finish adjusting. Looks good. Okay, and that should work for the stream as well. Let me double check. I can put some variations now. So white could play that one. Yeah. Here, something like this. Entirely reasonable. Not entirely, to be honest, but mildly reasonable. Okay, and it's showing up for you guys as well. I have slightly messed up putting the coordinates down, so I guess I can redo that to unbias it a bit. But it's working exactly the same on my screen as on your screen. So when I do this now, yeah, look at that. We put the stones in the intersections. Very nice. Okay. We're ready. And Alex has a somewhat tricky position now. So Ningan Duan's clamping move looked good. This one applied a lot of pressure to the white stones. White really can't go down there because cutting does not attack these stones almost at all. So cutting would only attack the two outside stones, and that's why, yeah, that's why the jump was played instead. Basically, Alex is saying, if I can only attack those two stones, then I should just directly attack them like this. So my variation that I showed you guys was now black continues like that, and then white jumps again like this. I think it's possible, but probably there's something a bit more active for both players to do. Okay, hurrah! Let's go. It's working. So I'm actually very curious to watch this game. I want to see how Alex beats the strong AGA 7 Don. Let's see this. Let's see this one. It should be... Okay, black actually linked up. I don't think it's very good, because I thought if black played further outside here, then white still doesn't really want to cut it, because black would still be able to run out and make counterattack. And then since this could be counterattacked, since the upper left could be counterattacked, it seemed like there was a lot of value there. However, what black is saying is, I don't need any counterattack, I'll just save directly. And it shorts the white liberty a little bit. So it can help for making like a peep in the center be much more forcing. But I mean, it was still forcing, wasn't it? I don't think that's a big difference. Mostly it just helps in saying I'm super thick here, and then I have the right of the control of the left side. Anyway, Alex will allow that. You have nothing else to do but to allow that and just move on and try to get your own value where you can. I'm curious whether he's thinking about whether he should play, yeah, here. So if white plays here, then okay, he tries to push instead. If white plays here, then I was thinking that black could already think about counterattacking. But the push directly, black of course will counterattack. Let's go, Alex, indeed. So black pushes here is supposed to be entirely expected. And the idea is that black really, really never needs to take care of this. After defending there, there's no reason to ever, ever, ever take care of that. So he's gonna let white play to this box. That's not a very meaningful direction for white. And so white kind of has to answer back to this black, it seems like. And black will try to get as much control as he can of this side, which is the much more important side. That's where he's really eyeing in. So a variation we might see now, it might start like this, and then can black push and jump? I'm thinking about this kind of way, where we're planning to play on the outside after this. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly. It doesn't seem possible for white to ever cut, because black will cut, or hane, because black will cut. So it seems like I also don't think that should happen, because I believe that this is good for black if white can go into the corner, but black gets to solidify the outside. White will still have to save it, right? And then black can block the bottom somehow. Honestly, that blocking the next move is not that easy for black to play a move, something like this. I don't know. Maybe black would just play away. That would be reasonable too. So yeah, if it goes here, it seems like maybe black needs to connect, something like that. I think this might be playable. We have white extending as expected. And then I'd be quite surprised to see black not fighting over the bottom side here. That looks correct. The full standings right now, there's 4 players on 2-0. It's Alex, Zichen, Duan Ningan, and Jian Yingji, the Gotham Go Club representer. 5 done. So he does not do the super passive way. That looked bad for white. And instead chose the Hane. So I thought that you cannot do this because of cut. But Alex says, try me. So if cut now, then probably Alex wants to extend here and dare black to play this one and then Hane. Maybe even then you can try triple Hane. So if black captures, then the one stone there is under threat. You cannot easily fill a liberty, as white could Atari. So instead, when black answers here, now white could fill a liberty, and these stones would die in the corner, like that. So after cut and extend and Hane, like this, Hane and triple Hane, you cannot easily cut the outside. It seems like black is actually quite caught here. Might be very difficult fighting for black. That means that maybe cut is a overplay, since if you fall back, then the ladder working for white will definitely punish the one stone, becoming a very bad exchange. Therefore, maybe black will fall back immediately, like this. At which point, white probably wants to just connect, but it would be gote, and black could continue to play something on the bottom side, probably. Black can Hane instead of extend because the liberty is important in the cut variation. So now, when so if black would cut and extend here, and white Hanes, then it's not really working. So Hane instead of extend. So at this moment, then Hane here, then we give up the stone. I don't know how this is. I don't know what you're talking about. This can't be acceptable, right? Even if we get the full squeeze. So black comes back, and he actually came back with the pullback rather than the Hane. I didn't even consider that, and I don't think it can be considered, to be honest. Isn't it clear that the Hane is better? The first extend 3. Okay, interesting. Let's see. So if black had started with the cut there, let me remove these stones off the board. So if black had cut here, and this one, then black could Hane like this, and then it becomes weird. I see what you're talking about. This Hane was possible. Then it gets complicated, but this doesn't look good for black, maybe, overall. Definitely weird. In the actual game, instead we had black pull back, and then Alex quickly played this tiger's mouth, and black peeped. So Alex is not necessarily going to save those stones. He's going to push outside. This looks natural. I think black will definitely not cut, but extend here is like almost for sure what's going to happen. Afterwards, maybe then Alex will connect directly without exchanging any further. I think the one exchange is good to make it heavy, but further exchanges will actually allow black more movement against us. Not sure, but if I were playing, I would just connect after that. And then I would expect black to spend a move on the bottom side. It looks like this peeping exchange was, I mean, fine, of course. Nothing very bad has happened for either player. Oh, black plays here to try to make it more serious, his cut. That doesn't look right. Yeah, my feeling is that if white Hane is here already, white has good shape. Even if black answers, then white could play away, and it does not seem comfortable for black. I don't know what black can get, and I believe this bottom side is very important. Even white can also say play away now. Excuse me. And if black cuts, then it would be crazy. Very, very obviously wrong to cut there. So Alex decides to play away, and this one stone is not going to be well placed in the ensuing fighting. Even if black later activates that cut somehow, like pulling back will be too over concentrated with this. So Alex played into the corner. He was looking to switch to the top side. And then Alex got to play in the corner. Because, yeah, black played the sort of slightly bad switching variation to emphasize on the top. Locally speaking, this is a little bit inefficient for black, but globally speaking, it's the correct direction, of course. Alex comes back and makes the exchange now. I'm actually not sure whether this exchange is good or not, if you can even get it. Easy game for white, you say? I do think that the start here should be good for white. I'm not sure why black has a stone here instead of Hane. That seems like it's just smaller now in the corner. And black also played quite passively at the start, and even over here was like way too active, those stones. So white seems to have a lot of points. I agree. Okay, black chose to answer that Hane exchange. It's only white plus 3? Yeah, that's about the expectation. But white plus 3 is not so hard. It's quite a bit, actually. For players of Alex's level, at least. Maybe not at my level. And I like this move on the bottom side. Alex plays low. I was showing high moves here, believing that when black goes to the side, it won't be very big anyway. But yeah, Alex is realizing that his side group here, the way that black can defeat that is obviously not to break it. So black is going to look to make white kind of over concentrated there, press him back, and as he does so, black will get some side presence. So considering that black is like looking to get side presence against the corner later, playing low rather than high seems correct. Actually, I like a lot of Alex's moves have these subtle, good, positive qualities about them. I like very much actually. These days, I'm a big fan of watching his games. So black is thinking, going in the tank. Three shouldn't be a large lead, no, but it's a clear lead. Clear lead. If I were black here, I think I would 3-3 the upper right. This kind of group in the corner here, white cannot possibly surround, right? White would need so many moves to surround it, and black can easily save it later if necessary. So if you're gonna save it, if you're gonna put any stones in the lower right corner as black, it must be because you think you're doing something which is efficient and like efficient against white. But what is there to be efficient about? You know, I don't see literally anything to focus on over there. I don't see any way to start tricks or anything. So to me, that area is done. And the two remaining areas that are quite relevant are like the place over here and the place over here. Those are both very enormous. So black chooses to approach here. It's odd to approach from the direction where white has already the slide and the undercut and even the weak group to attack. I have to say, I would never have approached from this direction. It would have been either 3-3 or approach from this side if I wanted to approach. For me. Now, Alex's decision is not that easy. He could pincer. Oh, he can play there too. Interesting. He could have pincered, or he could have played like this. Those are both normal ways. He chose to start with this one. Obviously, this prevents black from pressing down on white. So if he hadn't played there, black's diagonal and jump, it can often make black very comfortable because it starts to outline an actual space here. In the game now, black is very unlikely to get a space. However, black's tempo is a lot higher because this this white diagonal move is very slow. Very slow. It should be very easy for black to take care of this group, whether he plays a move or not, honestly. We might see, so like locally speaking, I think a good candidate move is to attach, but we could also see a double approach. Looks good there too. I think we can say that white is leading right now, but yeah. It's not nearly decided. Not nearly decided. So black chose to do a double approach, which is making sense, and he chose to do it high, which is interesting. Now, I'm curious whether, yeah, Alex will choose A, the sort of standard way, or Tanuki. Okay, so he chooses A, the standard way. Let's see if he studied. Does he know the variations here? There is a lot to study. Black will hane outside. No, extend back. Okay, he likes this variation. I thought that this one was not that challenging. Like you could do almost anything here, but maybe it's not really like that. I think Raven will be back for round 5, so that's tomorrow afternoon. I'm here to control it for now. Telegraph takeover. So, white can... The way that I've always done it is block, but then there's a slide here, which looks troubling. Maybe then we would attach, something like that. Doesn't seem that comfortable. I'm not a knower of this Joseki. I do other things. I should become a knower. Why not? Why not? If white plays at A, then B comes, and then it's somewhat awkward. It seems like both ways would be good for black from there. I think that probably white is already down. So white slid first, allowing black to play Hane here, in which case white might try to cut. Or maybe white will just calm down and come back. But it seems like white might try to cut, so we might see A, B, C, D. I can just use it in the... Sorry. If it goes like this, then black might try a triple Hane here too. This way. Not sure. So white was not supposed to slide there, says Tangje. If not, then it must be that this move is good now, which means that this variation here seems like it might be acceptable for black. So white cuts in the on the side instead, meaning black can save it this way. Excuse me, like that. And typically we view that as good shape for black, but white is probably thinking that he can save to the side to cover the corner here. And I mean, the corner is big, but black's influence is quite efficient, it seems. Aha, do we have an AI covering the stream now? Giving the expected scores. Wow. So white is leading, but is that territory or actual expected score? Okay, we see the 77% win rate. I don't know what Hane means. No, the comments are not too much, don't worry. Black is considering right now. It seems like this move is very clear to me. I don't think that it would be acceptable to instead play here, which the ladder currently is going with this done here, there. Let's see. The ladder is working for black right now, so that's great, but white would never worry about it. Sorry. If black plays here, white is definitely going to go through this way and cut here. And then black seems like they're in trouble this way. I don't like this black at all. So I'm pretty sure it's better for black to play this one and allow white to go after, saving that one stone later. Usually that's going to be good for black if white does it. The text is a name of the shape that was played. Hane, and then maybe stretch here is the name of my move. Interesting. So if I play like a random knight's move or a large knight's move, will it tell me large knight's move? It just doesn't know. I don't know. Anyway, stretch is probably what happened in the real game, I guess. Okay, interesting. Oh, you have one sig fig of decimal data and the bar on the top side, I see. 63.3 to 65.7. I believe, in my opinion, the AIs don't actually even know that first decimal point. I think the AIs, when they do the point approximation, some information of what they know in win rate is lost. and that they are often wrong when it comes to, this one is 0.5, that one is 0.2, that sort of thing. So me personally, I would only trust them to the sig fig of the single digit number. But it's funny to see the decimal there as well. Okay, eventually black chooses to go for the ladder variation. That's very exciting because Alex's way is very obvious. There, he should Atari there and give the Poniki. And then the question is just whether he wants to push or knight's move. He's decided on the push quite quickly here. Yeah, that's interesting. Between this one and this one here, oops, like that, I think that the push is probably better because of the weaknesses. So after this, if black would cut and white cuts and black descends, white probably has to answer in the corner. So then black can use that descend to save on the right side. And even though we don't get much counterattacking potential against the center, this way probably secures a bigger right side compared to the knight's move. So I like that push there by Alex. I think that's probably a good move. And then this knight's move that Alex is playing is following up on his diagonal in the lower right, saying that, wow, black, you really ignore me way too much to knight's move here. And I think that that's true. This knight's move from Duan was played too fast. He didn't really think about it. But this one is pretty clearly off the beaten path, off the main topic. It's looking at potential to attack this and attack that, but white will very easily be able to handle those attacks when black lunges at them in the future. Black, white will be able to take care or even sacrifice when it comes to this one. So it looks like this attack is much more meaningful if white can outline the whole border there. If it becomes something like this territory, that's obviously way too much. But for black to stop that, white is going to naturally get power through here and naturally end up with the territory. Uh-oh, the camera has flipped once again. It flipped upside down. I don't know why this happens. It's quite crazy. Can we flip it back? I don't know what to do. Yeah, black will save the bottom right, but white just started attacking it. Okay, give it a moment. And back. Let's go. Great job. On the ball. Well done. Shout out to Blue Club for hosting the coverage here this year. There was no coverage last year online, but now there is. You guys get to watch. This tournament is live being played in Massachusetts right now. It's not in England, it's in New England. So that is Alex live right now on the right of the board. Picking moves. Our new youth under 18 world champ. He plays white here. Isn't it crazy? So black played the most obvious way, the attach and extend, and then Alex played the most obvious move, the extend forward. That was all necessary. And now black had to choose any running shape. He could have chosen it, all sorts of moves were possible. Maybe not. Maybe some of these were not possible. Is there a new London in New England? I don't think so. If he keeps winning world titles, he won't need to find a job. I think if he keeps winning world titles, he would have found a job. That is the job. My goodness. You thought about turning as black. Turning was totally possible there as well. I think the problem that black had with turn was that he really wants to use inside stuff later. He wants to be able to Hana here and have it be very meaningful. So the turn would sort of make it so that inside stuff is less powerful. And he's waiting. So black really wants to find a sequence in the future. Let's say white does something random. Black wants to play here and then here. Something like this. Where if white chases it, then he can Atari and capture. That would be wonderful, right? That's the sort of thing that black is hoping will eventually exist. So he's not going to use the turn yet, at least until he thinks he needs it. just runs first, and then Alex plays this move. So I didn't even properly get to think, honestly, from Alex's perspective about what to do, but this is a good move, it looks like, to break black. So black very likely will have to add a move in the center here to stop himself from being cut, and then white will be able to cut this side and secure the entire bottom right territory. This is all making his original, slightly slow move here very clearly powerful and good. Yeah, this at this point, it's very clear that white is leading the game. Very clear. If white can secure that territory. So black might want to fight against it. However, I think it's wrong. I think if black tries to, let's say, connect here and keep counterattacking potential, then when white plays on the outside, a cut moving like this, black is still going to have to save. But now we can see that we're getting in a lot of trouble with the outside. That exchange there is very clearly bad for black in this kind of variation. So white could just simply push and allow black to continue to run. And yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know what to do for white because it's too easy. There's so many things. We can just jump, I guess. You start to casually outline this area while still attacking this one, and black is really losing some control on the overall game. So it would definitely be very wrong to go and save the tail in this situation. The tail is really, really meaningless. White is already super strong. And then if you're going to save the outside, I'm pretty sure it should be here. I don't see any reason why another move would be like more Tetsuji, more magical than this move. This is just, it's just the best move, it seems like. The thickest and most correct. So then really what I should be thinking is after this one, will white actually go and cash in the tail right away? Or will white choose to try to keep his advantage more broad, right? So now if black comes back again and white can secure the whole area, this is this is another form of advantage. You know, white doesn't have to capture the tail to be leading, to be clearly leading. Even white doesn't have to go back over there either. But so, you know, white is very strong there. So probably if this one happens and here and this one, white could secure even more advantage by being faster towards the weak group and towards the entrance to the top side for black. Okay, looks like black was thinking about not answering at all here, which is possible. You can say that this one makes it too heavy, but I still think that this is the correct move on the bottom side, and we're sort of we're leaving trouble by leaving this cutting move behind. Then white would not only be playing a move which is benefit to the outside here, but also capturing the bottom naturally. So we see Alex with a very clear good position. I'm curious how he's going to play it when black says that he's keeping pressure. Yeah, white is clearly leading at this moment. So if white just goes and takes like a base here, something like this would be very, very normal. I think part of black's plan is to give white a base and take the control instead against the white left side, which white doesn't really want to have those stones die naturally. So if it goes like this, and then if let's say white kills it off, which is not a good idea. Let's say white does a very bad saving method. Then now when black plays some move over here, black could start to say, I have a huge outside area, including your stones, and it's not necessary to control the bottom side directly. I can instead get an outside benefit from sacrificing those stones. This is like the dream scenario for black. So white is thinking about how to save himself in a way which doesn't allow such a dream scenario, and also is like pretty tight on territory, hopefully. What would you guys do? What's the right decision? We can say like A, B, C, D, possible, right? E, possible. And if you're crazy, you can come back here, but I don't think so. It seems very obvious that some outside move. Oh, and G is possible as well. But G allows black A. It looks obviously wrong in my book, at least. E is cool. It's easy to get baited by cool moves. It is kind of cool. Applies some pressure. But we have to be ready for the push and cut stuff. You're voting A. A seems like a decent move. I think I vote E, actually. I think I'm ready for it. I think I know what to do. Alex chooses B. So B is the most standard and normal way. And it has a good benefit as well, which is that when black covers here, it's not a real cover. We can always break through in the center. So there's no easy, I think, cutting shape. Black could try it this way. Honestly, this is not a bad shape. Black might be playing this one now. This looks like a good move, right? To emphasize very harshly on these stones and try to... It's like Zichen from the last situation-esque. From the last game, from round 2. Zichen played an attach like that to make his opponent's stones heavier and then catch them. The way you are going to justify this one is that it's farther away from the weak group. Maybe. It seems like Duan Ninghan is looking very precisely at this stuff. His eyes are over there. So he might be trying to get it ready, where you can do something like this to steal away the base, and then white is not locally alive after a sequence like that. But this would be like too early right now. It's just like he doesn't want to lose that AGA probably. He's waiting for it. If I were playing, I would have played here already. I think this move is strong. I don't know what white is supposed to do about that. Presumably just give up the stunts, but that seems acceptable. Okay, we have that move, which I saw him eyeing up. So now, if white plays on the outside and black cuts, white should answer, and then white wants to cover this way, but then black can cut like this, and white is caught in the center. So it's not working to cover that way, and if you cover this way instead, then black can capture a stone like this. So finally, white could try to surround the outside, but black would be alive there. So white had to connect. There was no way for white to play here instead and then still catch it after the cut and push out. So that's why we saw this one. But that exchange by itself actually kind of hurts black. It means that the corner capture is much less reduction, is much less valuable. And black should use that stone immediately. Usually you have to use it like this. And then white can press down like that and jump here. And this looks awful for black, in my opinion. I think that black has now obviously failed if it goes something like this. And this is not the only way. There's other ways as well. Where black steals away the territory, but allows white to link up even with a power towards the center. It means that this f6 is just totally misplaced. You'd have gone b5 for white, actually. I think that it would be too slow if you did it before this stone, right? If at this moment we start with b5, usually when black presses the outside, you're thinking about living anyway. So, the move by itself is understandable to put there. But then when black puts a stone here, this move is not understandable, right? And then the question is, how do you do better than 3? It's maybe possible, but it isn't easy. So like getting yourself in the position where you have to figure out a way that's better than 3, why get yourself in a hard position when you can give yourself an expansive area and then have easier moves to try to fix that expansive area compared to trying to get like more area from nothing, Just leave it for the moment for the AGA. So if black just says, I leave it, it's possible. He might do that. A, B, and then leave it. This A-B exchange lost so much endgame towards the corner. And white will often end up surrounding it, right? So if white kills A from the outside and then black ends up like just playing an endgame, he lost like 5 points or something. It's really bad. But probably he's still supposed to leave it. I just think that this b5 is way too early. I don't know why he was interested. Maybe the best way should be to use it from the outside now, something. Interesting that black is still thinking after the expected white response. He probably had something planned here and then is realizing it's bad now. And often you can have a plan from afar and then you start getting closer to it and you rejudge and you're like, oh, wait a second. I want something else. So we're going to see how black handles that situation. It might be that he leaves it. That's why I was saying that it could very well happen. He might just say it's done. White turned a 3-point lead into 10. Yeah, he was leading a bit, and now he's leading, we can say, leading a lot. If I were black here, I think I will still play this one. Okay, but black goes for a sacrifice. This is a very sad feeling. White's move is so obvious. Alex only breathes for 1 second before connecting back in the only way that's reasonable. Okay, and now black is trying to say, at least I've covered this because I have this one sente to cut off those. So you wouldn't do that way. You're going to answer, and then I can cover the outside. So at least I covered the outside. That's what black is saying. But Alex just comes back and cuts here, which is, yeah, this is the vital point that he set up before. And there's very little response for black to do now. Black tried the glass cannon champion and fed the first 5 minutes. Does this mean black has a hope to come back now? We're going to try to see the comeback? I guess. Why not? Let's try. I'm an Alex believer in this matchup, at least. I'm generally an Alex believer. After cut here, then the white group on the left side's life is not that easy. It's not that clear. So black is hoping that white will do something weird now. It's actually pretty possible. It's very obvious that this exchange is not good in this kind of position. But yeah, that doesn't mean that you have a good way to play, right? Like you still have to find a way to play moves. Yeah, black set himself up for this, Tang Jie. Black was saying he was going to attack it. It all came from this move. That move said, you know, I'll put the A on it. A said, if you do something on the bottom side, I'm going to get something which is worth it with B. And then after black played B, he had to get something that was worth it. So then after that, he tried C. And then he realized that C isn't working, so he had to fall back with D, and then he's got to justify it all, so he's got to attack with E. Like, it's all coming from the original position where black said, I have something here due to your weaknesses there. But Alex's weaknesses weren't that real, and black's weaknesses over here were more real. So Alex was playing just the truth of the game, and black has been trying something that wasn't really supposed to work, and therefore Alex gains. However, this position is still not that easy. It looks to me like we should fight the ko right now when black cut. Fight the ko, and then use the saving moves as our local ko threats. So I was thinking that white can play moves like A and B as local ko threats, allowing black to capture in order to then go back and finish. Something like, You take C Sente, or I don't know exactly how to finish, but push and Atari, this sort of thing. I think it's all a lot easier if you start with the Ko, but Alex is probably thinking right now very hard because he realizes it's easy to end up with this kind of move being a bad exchange, where when black captures, eventually black is getting like a better shape compared to if we could just save separately. So this one means that I think Alex is red, just strictly saving. Oh, Paige, you think that playing here would have lived? I don't think so. Was it possible? After that one, then I'm not exactly sure how. After this one and even back just starts at B. I don't see a life. Any clear life, at least. So Alex started with the push, which makes it so that his outside has more resources. Hopefully that will be useful. It's still quite tricky. Is black threatening to connect his bottom group to kill white's middle group? Build the middle group as a reasonable idea. So now Alex starts the Ko. He probably could have conserved this CH for one more Ko threat. Is black threatening to connect his bottom group to kill white's middle and build the middle a reasonable idea? So black in general putting stones around here is a valuable area for sure. And black's basically only hope in this game should be that this one falls apart with the whole center, so that white's huge bottom and right is kept in check, relatively speaking. Alex is having a bit of a hard time figuring out exactly how to save this. Although it seemed like he's gaining resources, it seems now that he will have to pay a full move somewhere in a co-threat form to black in order to save this group comfortably. So it will happen over a while. Black will need some co-threats. But eventually, white saving this will be met by black playing a pretty big move elsewhere. And then white's lead is not so strong as maybe it felt like. So this is Alex's co-threat here. Now black can win the Ko and allow white to just save very easily. If black would play here, then white would have played this one, and then white is clearly alive. So instead, black is going to push in, which makes sense to me. And then white will recapture and keep fighting the Ko now, I guess. Looks good. Something interesting black can do now is to push and cut like this. I think this is something Alex was checking, whether if black pushes and cuts and white has to fall back, now can white be okay? And it turns out probably not by themselves, right? Or, no, white could capture first, and then it would be Miai between these two remaining moves. So black's cover in Sente, which feels very strong, is not that good. More like black should play this one if black wants to play a Sente, locally speaking. To cover the outside to make himself thick. But instead he's just going to play a move on the bottom side. This is quite lacking in intensity, in my opinion. Quite a slow version of a co-threat here. I would be satisfied as white to come back to the upper left, I think. But black is starting to do something big on a grand scale. This is the kind of position which I feel like I can't play when I play white. I don't know how to do it. There's so much pressure here. Especially for this part, it's not supposed to be that easy for black that black can just ignore it and have it be naturally dead. Is it? Like, if you ignore it forever, it's supposed to have some AGA. But somehow it can be difficult to use. So black, by playing these outside moves, you know, particularly the covering that he used, these two. So white came back to Indigo finally. Yeah, if those two moves, A and B, they really made it so that white was locked in to the left side. And then black managed to get two moves in a row from the upper left area, which is not very nice for white. White is not a fan, I think. That was quite impressive by black. So black looks at a cut. And now it seems like the whole area is close to lockdown. This whole outside. If it's all black, then black will win. So how does Alex swim in there? What to do? Very tempting way is to do this and extend, like so. This looks bad for black, in my opinion. I think this is a good way. I don't really see how to do it for black from now. So Alex starts, and then he also has the choice to play here. Excuse me. This way. Then if black jumps like this, black would escape. Wow, he came back and captured the tail. That is not right. That is incorrect. He was supposed to push here, I'm pretty sure. This tail was too small to go and capture right now. And it gives black a prime opportunity to play in the center. So black can play the ladder here, but there might be ladder breakers, which Alex is counting on in the upper left. So if I were playing black, I would be more inclined to look at a net. These nets can be fake. So like this, and here, white could easily escape and capture the 3 stones to their overall doom, as this would become solidified and black would win. So after black plays here, white should not save that 1 stone and solidify black for him. It should be more like white is going to use those outside weaknesses in some clever way directly. So perhaps white could start with a move like this. I don't know how that happened. After this one, oh, I have the wrong tool. That's how that happened. my bad, guys. After this one, and white plays something like this. Black might fear that just coming back it wouldn't be enough. My goodness, you'd have to start counting. The bottom right and right side, and like this is a crazy situation where we have the whole thing here against the whole thing here. Right. I don't know which one is bigger. Who is winning? It's probably still white, but it's becoming difficult now. It's becoming difficult. I think that this, in practical terms, this A probably made the game much harder compared to just playing the relatively simple. I mean, not simple in the present moment, but simple to continue. Push move. This would make the game very clear in what to do, compared to the game where, yeah, if white sees this black cover, I just don't know what plan white can reasonably have. Instead, we have the ladder. And this is also playable, particularly because later, any ladder shenanigans can be fixed by black, potentially kind of naturally with stuff like clamp, where we're aiming at the bottom side and then making it so that the cuts that white gets from saving the ladder stone might not be that useful. So in the future, it could look like this, and then, yeah, when someday white runs out, black can say that this part is already safe enough, that kind of thing. So it's possible you can argue that this one is better, but it looks kind of dangerous to me. Okay, white uses the direct use of it from the outside, and this means that white is planning on hopping in. So when black captures this stone, white will be flying in the center. This is going to be fun. I don't know how. Something like this? You can't read the ladder played out. Okay, so if we had it like this, and then here we have the ladder. It goes all the way this way. You can see that it starts to interact with this area, but it gets caught just kind of barely from actually interacting with the peep there. So it would only interact with the other stones, and that's why Alex did not try to use the exciting peep. This does look kind of like an all or nothing invasion from Alex here. I feel like if you started it one move earlier, instead of wasting a move and then saying you'll save it, you know, if you just directly try to save it, you get a lot more value. But here, he's wasted the move first, and now it's going to be really tough. Maybe it's rude to say, but this is somewhat heartening for me as a player with a similar style to Alex, to see that Alex also struggles with this type of position. It's not actually supposed to be easy. I was a little concerned that this stuff is supposed to be easy, but I'm just bad. Actually, this is not supposed to be easy, it's just hard. But we'll see. Maybe Alex will still make it look easy from now. This is definitely a tough position, though. Definitely tough. That's actually really exciting. Let's not call it tough, let's call it glorious. Okay. We shall see. So this push is fine. He probably could have exchanged it earlier, but exchanging it now, it's still working. And in the future, he can look at the cut there. Yeah, he's playing it for me. I don't even have to put it down. And extend, like this. So now the idea is that there's a weakness over here. If black doesn't do anything, then after cutting like that, black cannot capture any of the outside stuns. So therefore, black is going to need to do something about that and make it work immediately for him. If he plays something normal, natural, like this, Alex's plan is to use those outside stones in conjunction with the stones over here and try to make something. It's difficult to see. Difficult to see how this is going to work exactly. Maybe if black plays here, white will first try to use it like that, and then make a space. here and here. Maybe white can start to carve something out, which will work here. Zichen indeed did win his game. So you can see why Duan Han has played the solid connect. I really appreciate this move. This is a very much a strong attacking style move. It means instead of that one, if he had played an A, he'd give forcing moves to white all around here. This one, although it doesn't move that fast in that direction, there's no forcing moves. So actually white is the one who is going to benefit from that side. And now he's cut white benefits dry. Makes a lot of sense to just extend there. And the game will continue to fly here, but yeah, that's a good start, I think. This looks like a good move to activate something. We're asking black to cut in this kind of way. And then if white connects here, that would directly connect. And then white could play maybe over here. Safe to assume Zichen wins his games. I mean, that game in particular was a blowout. Zichen did wonderfully. But here, this is the kind of shape which white is aiming at, and hoping that this will be enough space in order to make a clear life. For me, it's still not clear whether this is really going to result in life. But maybe for Alex, it's clear. Is he good enough? For me, I'm still worried. I'm still worried. I feel that something like this move, and then here, this looks like it can be decisive back the other way. Where the white cuts are not easy. You can see, for example, this one would just fail. So we see the black thing here. White can use a peep there whenever he wants. This one is not that effective because black can push in, and then black reduces the space a lot. So it's much more likely white will want to use this peep in the local situation. And play the Atari instead. Oh, you must mean later. So for after here and here. Oh no, the camera has flipped again. This is really not good. Camera flip. Can we get some help? I will take the coordinates off the board until it gets flipped back. Okay, I guess we might be back in just a moment here. We're back. I will put the coordinates back on the board. Okay, and hopefully I can put stones on intersections here. All looks good on stream end. Let me check. Looks great, right? Beautiful. So yeah, locally speaking, this one seems like the right start. And then after this, there might be something better. Okay, so white decided to use that one first and conserve the left side. I was thinking you should use the left side, but Alex says you can still save it. Ninghan's block was bad. The block was the obvious move. If that block was bad, it means, of course, that white should be safe here. And Alex's move is a good way to handle it, I think. This still looks disturbing for black and for white. I definitely feel there's a chance in the fight from now. If white can successfully make a life here, it's great. It means that white should win. If black just plays on the outside gently like this, and white has that center anytime, can white easily live from here? Reading test, guys. Is your reading up to par? Not easily is probably the answer, but maybe still possible. This moment, probably black should take one of the blocks, but it's not that easy. There. Is there still an eye there? There's no eye. There. Looks like white needs to start running to save it. I don't think white has enough space if it just ends up like this. So white would have to run and try to get a little tiny bit more space. Already this is probably enough. If only there were Sente on the left side. It would be so nice. But you can't quite see the left side. It's under his head. He's locked in. There are not many Sente moves over there. I can say it like that. White's more or less alive? Then show me how, Tangjae. What's the read from now? What does white do? If it starts like this. Block here? Tanuki. Okay, it seems you've checked the AI and it loves it. But how? After blacks does something like push, so yeah, even after, like, let's say white plays first. We'll give white first. If black push goes here, there is no clear eye in this part, right? So now even if you play here, this one, there's no eye. I think we can answer that way. Aha, maybe there's some counterattack. It doesn't seem possible, really, to counterattack this. I don't think that's playable. Ah, you've linked me a review where you're putting all the moves on OGS already. Nice. Let me make a new thing to check it from here. Wow. Is it easy after all? Maybe Alex wasn't struggling. Try to reduce from the right before living. I think Alex will probably not take his living as lightly as the AI variations would. He will probably full focus on saving this group until he can clearly read out the life and death. Which should not be yet. Should not. let black kill the left and take the right side. If it happens like that, then white might still be able to play the game. But if white can live the left and take the right side, that's better. And it doesn't seem like that's impossible. It seems like that's likely, in fact, because black, really can't do much on the right side of the board. Excuse me. Because of this extend earlier rather than the knight's move, there's no targets for black, and this is also a very strong shape. So with both of these very strong shapes, even when black comes in and puts stones here, they don't affect anything on either side. It's very useless, right? So it makes the right side of the board very hard for black to come into, as white could easily cap it, and black would have no valuable direction to run. That's why usually when it comes to that side of the board, black will play light outside moves and ask white to play underneath, and white, knowing that black's moves are small, will usually allow black to play underneath anyway. So the reason why no one has played on the right side yet is because you really can't change the board state that much by putting a stone there. The follow-ups of the follow-ups are all so small. It's only really the first move that has any value. So therefore it looks way bigger than it actually is. Whatever you think the first move's value is actually maybe 3/4 of that, since your follow-ups are missing. Black is in the tank trying to kill this white group. I appreciate it, actually. That's what you should do. There. One way that black might try now is push and then play from this side. I messed up. Excuse me. Push and then play here, and then how does white save it? If white plays this one now, aiming at playing that move, black can probably push first and then play here. This one is gonna die if it goes like this. There. Unless there's just enough weakness outside. Pretend I blocked correctly. You'd have to answer, and then white could live on the outside like that. It seems like there's often going to be an eye on the bottom there, or in the middle. This area is white's eye space a lot of the time, because black just doesn't have very much control over there. Can black start from the bottom? Like F5. Excuse me. If we play this move first and try to use the cutting point on the bottom side, I guarantee you Alex will not answer, recognizing our plan. There's nobody who's going to answer this one. So Alex is 100% to play in the center after that. Some move like jump here. And then you would have lost control of the thing. What if indulge in the madness? I would rather indulge in the madness that will actually happen in the real game, even though Alex tries his best, You should try to make attacks which the opponent has to worry how they could possibly have stopped it, rather than attacks which there's an obvious way for them to stop it, Thank you, really Gesundheit. So black tried to push from the bottom side and capture a stone this way. Yeah, wait, Atari is normal, black will capture. And then which shape that he's choosing? Oh, he wants that shape. Is that alive already? Let's think. This was not the way that I would have tried to approach this white group. It seems that Katago thinks my ways also fail, but this one probably fails pretty clearly too. I think that this way is like less harsh than my ways most of the time. It seems the black player is shaking his head upset with the idea that he may not, in fact, get to kill this. At the moment, if white spends another move on the left, then it would be able to live easily. So he has stopped white from doing that, and white gets a bite of the center apple, but white has a bunch of extra moves to run over there as well. Is this one already enough? Wait. So white can save that or use a cut whenever he wants, so he'll conserve it. And then actually what's happening, this one is not enough, right? If you answer the peep, then white would clearly die over here. So white must start from a running direction, something like this. And then talk about the idea that the follow-up moves and the follow-up areas, all of that is white's potential space and white's potential resources. So it's going to be extremely difficult for black to both prevent white from running and prevent white from making eyes as they run. Yeah, this is like a really, really high bar. However, at least black has made a position where white does have to do it. Has to find a way to actually make it happen. Alex is going to try to read to see clearly his second eye right now, which is difficult but possible, maybe. So he chose the one space jump down, and black had already read that one and chose the knight's move as his strongest press here. This is looking a little dangerous. White would really like to be able to play Sente all of these points and then connect. That would be great. But there's no shot that they're going to be Sente. Tengen is always wrong. The knights was bad. Okay, so black had a real chance maybe just now, and it can vanish very fast. White's bamboo shape there is the most natural human way after you recognize that you cannot make a clear eye shape there. And then the peeping the bamboo is a very attacking style move. Peeping the bamboo means we are directly playing for eye shape and nothing else. No other concerns. But actually white is very restricted now. I really don't know what white can do. Breaking the bamboo is the strongest move? Wow. I wouldn't have even thought about it. Breaking the bamboo there. That way would make a clear ko. This way, this is not clear how white can make an eye at all. M10, black can't handle. So at the moment when this one happens, black would love to cut, but probably this one is already giving white enough power to cover this. Probably. Maybe this isn't the correct cover. Here. It's quite complicated. Okay, we have the Hane here. Black would love to cut it. If black falls back and then white, excuse me, if black falls back here, then white will push and then connect, probably. Black has to continue to fall back to cover this part, but this 5 is the wrong move. It should be here. Still, when white uses like anything, it's such a nuisance for black. Probably is not working. Although it's still not easy in this variation. I don't know. You really want to play here. You really do. Maybe push first means maybe we can conserve those Ataris to make a stronger threat and then make a net here. So if we can get the full squeeze like that and escape, it's a success for white. White manages to get out. Cut, extend, and play on this side would be totally impossible. Obviously, if it goes like that. So cut here and save directly that way. Should lead to Hane. This is probably too much for black, but it's not actually that clear how. White has a Sente move there. I forgot about that. So if black like tries to cover this, we can Atari, and this is easily alive now. So considering that white has that Sente move, white is very close to enough shape on the left side, isn't it? Very close. So it's going to make it really tough for black to hold everything together now. If black tries to do this one, it's a sort of classical good move where if white extends, white falls for black's trap, answering on the wrong side and then giving black more time to cover the stuff that really matters. However, white would not extend there, but connect, right? Or, sorry, not connect. Atari first. Yeah. That was what I read. Atari first, and then you still get this Atari, and then you still get the Sente, and this would be working very clearly. So eventually black decided to block the outside. Really? 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 That doesn't look right. Now, white can play maybe here first. But black will still try this kind of way, I think. Oh man, actually it's not that easy. So white wants this Atari now, but black will seriously cut it. I'm serious. And then cut it like this. Oh, but maybe white can use that as a timing. So white Ataris and then uses this one, and black has to cut that way, and then white captures this. Black cut. Oh, it's not working. Now after capture, there's capture. So you thought maybe white should push. Maybe. This is kind of worrying. Now if white connects here, black will cover the outside, guaranteed. And then can it work now for black? Isn't this actually quite difficult? So if this one and extend and connect, then white is probably caught here. It doesn't look like white has a resource. So if here and here and here, if white does this first, white has a really hard time getting resources again. Alex is thinking of using this to exchange and force this kind of variation. That would be nice, I guess. The Kasumi is correct. If the Kasumi is correct, it means that after this we have an answer, which I did not find. Maybe here is the only way. You have to exchange and fight the Ko like immediately or something. That doesn't seem right. I think Kasumi is really hard to find because you can see it, but you have to read some nonsense, some magic I do not see. So this way is Alex's way. This looks very normal. Where now, if he comes back to connect here, black's attempts to kill are not easy. So if black does it like this and this way, then white will chase it. It seems impossible for black to cut. So now it would end up being a capturing race that looks something like this, which probably black will die on the red side, and then probably black will lose the capture race against the center. Probably. So Alex is thinking before connecting here, maybe thinking about whether he might be able to get this Atari, which would be wonderful if he could, but I think is impossible. So when he tries it, if he has to connect here and black connects, then the whole thing is dead. So when Atari and this one happens, then you'd have to play... Sorry. Atari, this one here. He's doing it. You'd have to play for this, right? So now, here and here, seems like it's just dead on the left side. But White gets a huge right side in compensation. Maybe White is just thinking this is enough. So even though White has to connect and die here, even though this part dies, then White gets all the compensation over here, and then can finish off the game. Something like this to finish off the right side and then maybe win. Is this Alex's method? Okay, so we had Black eventually deciding to answer. You think they were bottom Sentes? Were they really Sente? Eventually Black answers, and then White answers, and then White, because of that, managed to exchange a really nice exchange, A-B. Really nice. That should mean that the White escape is pretty much secured. It should be nearly impossible now for White to run. It seems like that was Black's last moment, but he didn't really think that hard about pushing through. I guess maybe he had a calculation that it was not working. But with that AB, now White should be very comfortable. Finally. If it goes like this, and Black like really tries, there's no way, right? I'm quite doubtful that there was ever Sente to the bottom side. You know, you also have to check and make sure that you don't die to like Black's counter Sente here. Like AB Black would be very dangerous, I think, for White. Am I wrong? Seems like that can kill White a lot of the time as well. So I was very suspicious of chance for Sente to the bottom. Okay, in the actual game, what just happened? Wait, what move did they even just play? Wait, didn't run out. Ah, Black exchanged this. Exchanging that to short the liberties first. Yeah, last resort eyes you should treat as useful. That's true. Was it even really there? Like, I don't know. The camera has flipped again. Uh-oh. That's not good. Can we unflip it quickly? Is it possible? On it. So Black played from the center ultimately, and we're going to see Alex answer. And we see the variation that I was putting on the board, which is funny because I didn't think it was a good variation. But here it is. Now, Alex will be very tempted, I think, to play the extend and then realize that it would be completely mad and instead play this way. There's no need to leave a ko behind for no reason. We may as well play this way. And then now he's thinking, because if he Ataris like this, yeah, Black is trying to say that there's something happening there. Like, can Black do this and then here? So aiming at the 3 stones. If White answers, then Black captures the 3 stones. White gets the whole right side. Black gets to break this part. Seems acceptable, maybe. And if not, so after this one, and this way, and here, and Black recaptures here, then when White extends, Black could connect here and continue to try to kill the whole grouping ko. This is the silly ko that Black is talking about. Empty triangle first. Not sure what you mean by empty triangle first. It's also possible for White to just cut outside, right? To cut here. And if Black answers, then you save it easily. And if Black runs back this way, then now it's much less strong. You don't have a threat over here directly, at least. Yeah? 013. Ah, you're thinking after this one, then black might try this first to not make the additional bad exchange, so that when black captures this, the right side white is less secure. But Alex is reading all this, realizes that there's some danger, and it cuts first to prevent it. This seems like the cleanest way for white, and I really can't see how black is going to make trouble from now. He tries on the bottom side. Of course, this black player is keen on making trouble wherever he can. Seems like a good start to making trouble here. I like that cut. Just ask white what they want to do with it, and then play around what you have, whatever you get. White's strongest response should be to play, here. But if you do it like that, then black's push here is something already, aiming at the outside weaknesses, but it doesn't quite work immediately, at least. Trying to understand what's going on is pretty difficult. It doesn't seem like there's anything over there. So white is tempted to do it, to play like that. But there's also a weakness here. Eventually, Alex has realized he's leading a lot, and he does not need to do any nonsense. So this way is the minimal nonsense way. That's just Atari under. Isn't this bad endgame if nothing works? So there would still be threats. If nothing works, then it doesn't mean nothing will work forever. The A and the B areas are both scary. So black correctly realized that white would have some fear in him and choose to just allow black to get away with it with the Atari under. As white, you always feel like you're giving something. The opponent was right. They found a way to force you back. But when you actually play this way and then win the game, what did you give them, right? You're still going to win. So it's not a big give. We're getting a lot thicker with one of the only remaining thin areas. And black is the one under time pressure. That's true. He keeps looking at the clock, trying to make sure he does not lose on time as he tries to make trouble. Unfortunately, it seems like there's just nothing now. Yeah, it's not exactly clear that white lost anything, but maybe white lost a little bit. It's possible white gained, but I would guess that usually white loses a little bit for that kind of thing. Where in the future, like, black can honey first and then play peep. Usually that's annoying for white. A little bit. But in the game, black could only connect and then Atari here and force white to connect now. There's no way that black can make a cut happen. This has been such a professional game by Alex, including the deep invasion, which I don't feel comfortable with, but he does for some reason. I still don't really believe it. Surely if black played it perfectly there, if you gave AI the reins, then AI would kill it, right? I think that probably if you suddenly subbed in Katago around this area, then black had a killing method. But I mean, there was a moment in there where black did have a killing method, but it was probably bad when black could like push in. It seemed like white was preparing a full sacrifice of this group just to get this, which would probably be good enough. AI said white was winning the whole time. Yeah, I can believe it that black did not actually generate a chance. But even though black did not actually generate a chance, that doesn't mean that black couldn't have generated a chance by playing a bit better. For one, I'm not a fan at all of how black started the fight. ABC is extremely suspicious attacking method that is not correct, I should say. If you want to try to win the game, it's just not right. You should do stronger things, harsher things, give the opponent more pressure, then giving them the additional outside sente as they go to run. And then, yeah, didn't Tangji say something about how this knight's move, it could have been on the breaking the bamboo? That could also have caused actually quite a bit of problems. When you look at it humanly, you start to realize, hang on a second, I'm going to have to fight Ko's. And fighting Ko's always leads to difficulty. I do think Black had real chances there. and I do still believe that this A was wrong. Alex's move is -10 there, so still leading, but you have to fight the Ko to lead, and therefore Black is going to get a lot elsewhere. That means Black basically already had a chance, right? And if he even got a chance playing the attacking moves like he did, then I'm sure that stronger attacking moves can get a stronger chance as well. I'm not saying that I would have done it all correctly. It's just that I don't think that Alex made himself impervious this game. He didn't show completely clean finishing here, although he did show the professional way of doing it. That push was slightly bad. The push. On the bottom. Ah, yes, this one. Didn't mean to try to negate my point. No, I appreciate it in the commentary. Yeah, this push was... If it's slightly bad objectively, then I think it's got to be quite bad practically, right? Even if this is the objectively correct move, it makes your game practically so hard. I'd rather not do it, right? But if it's even objectively not correct, then I really rather not do it. Finally, there was no way for Black to stop White from linking up there. He played a bunch of Sente moves, trying to get as much value as he could over here. But what we end up with is Black having this area, which White can still come into. There's a huge border here, by the way. This endgame is extremely important now. We're going to see that be debated. And then Black has this area over here, even potentially those 3 stones. And Black has a little area here. And that's it. And White has all this. Has all that. White is leading by a lot without Komi. And he has Komi. So it's not a close game. Black can still play the end game, of course. Was R16 really needed? You couldn't see Black's threat. So in there, Black had played this attachment, right? And then White responded with some move. Oh, no, you're talking about the attachment here, and then White responded over here. Was it really necessary to respond with A? Possibly not, but it's extremely complicated because suddenly you're going to let Black capture race this part. That part was not completely safe. So I don't see a good reason to allow it. A lot of the time, the sequencing probably that they were looking at, it would have been something like here, White could try to escape, and then there would be a Ko like this. And then if you have to fight this Ko to kill it, that's not good. You've seen stronger players lose more than 20 points in the end game? Have you? Wait, have you been watching a lot of Super Blitz from strong pros? I don't think I've ever seen a stronger player than Alex lose more than 20 points in the end game. Maybe up to 20. Something like 16 is the most. So 16 or 17. I'm about to see it. Okay. What happens if a group dies in the end game? Okay, that doesn't count. Of course, that's the middle game. If it starts being like fighting again, that's middle game. If you lose 20 points in the end game, it's like you lost 20 points in the actual end game, right? That's how it should be. From the threats of the middle game. Wouldn't the connect on d12 be sente for white earlier, since it would have threatened to make an eye? The connect on d12. So before white lived, white could have exchanged this for the black connect. That's true. White was scared to do so because it can leave him with more difficulty when it comes to his eye space here. So like if you exchange earlier, if you exchange A for B here, then it means that black could push through, and then the white space is reduced. Meanwhile, if you don't exchange it, then black push through is at least not Atari. So it's like a minor difference, but Alex was trying to get all the strength he could get. He wasn't going to play a bad exchange just for points at that moment. Probably there was a timing when he could exchange it, but it wasn't over here because at the timing when he was already connecting back, all of those moves have a lot more territory value over here than just coming back and living with the eye over here. So if at some point later white had tried to exchange, also, sorry, let me use the right tool. If at some point earlier white had tried to exchange it at this point, right, then black would have just let white have this territory, and white wouldn't have been able to reduce this part, which is more important. The Hane here means Alex has some nice reading. So if black tries to cut, white wants to go down and allow this cut because now there's a shortage of liberty like that. So Alex is going to be able to live this group even if black cuts here. Therefore, black has basically nothing to do but fall back somehow. Something like this is black's best option. If black tries Hane here, maybe that can make it more complicated, but it doesn't look good because still the cut is Gote all the time. So you're just pushing into your own territory. He comes down to block. He's really trying to make it so that this move is going to work here. He's very, very invested in that one. So ideally, he gets the cut and then capture it like this. That means that white wants to stop it from working. White will play a direct move like this. Yeah, that R7 move, this is an ouch for sure. Black was even already hoping to gain like a huge amount in the endgame, and then white is the one who's gaining. That's not fair. This move is too big. Too big. Black uses a sente move, but at this point you can see that it's covered the main stuff. So white will answer this, and then when this stuff happens, there's no way for black to cut because white can connect. And if black connects the other side, then white connects back as well. So this is totally covered, totally clean. There's nothing for black to really do. Just connect here means that Alex will now connect like this. Maybe black wants this kind of stuff. So the idea is if white connects and we play here, then maybe we'll be able to live it. Oh, we need to Atari first as well. Let's exchange that Atari. Is this alive? Is this capable? Even if it does live, it might still not be good. I mean, he would definitely still not be losing, but it might still not just be as good as playing a big game. The other connection. So yeah, instead we can just play here and then we're fully solidly connected. And then it's easy kill. Easy kill. Okay, it's a good try from black to aim at it. This one, that means that now if black tries this stuff, and here, black can capture like this. So white's real plan is something different. What is white's real plan? I'm not sure I understand. Is there a chance now? Well, what happened? Black uses a sente first. It seems like this move will just work now. Minus 10 points, the Hane? Okay. So the game will now be a mildly close endgame. So it's going to be really difficult, I guess, to figure out. Huh. Why is he cutting there first? After white answers here, black will still just do this, right? Was the original point that white wanted to play, like, cut here and then push down and capture this? I think so. So yeah, originally before this cutting move, if this weren't here, if black had done this first, then Alex's plan is going to work, I guess. So he wouldn't play 4. He would play 4 here. And then forcing black to connect back and then push down and capture like that. Just crazy because still this is losing a lot. But black cutting first means that even that won't work. It's very precise. Now when white saves it like this, white can do that. Then black can try to run this way. If white comes down and plays this way now, then we're going to get in a capture race. So black is going to turn in the corner to try to race. Oh, black will exchange this first, excuse me. Exchange this first and then turn in the corner. No, black needs to cover it. Okay, we have the capture race going on now. So Alex is trying now to recover his mistake, but this could very well lead to more danger. Now black should exchange this, probably, and then come back here. Okay, he's going to choose to Atari there. Now white should answer, obviously. Okay, that way then he probably shouldn't continue to exchange. That makes sense, yeah. And then he has to come back here. Otherwise, those 4 stones would die. And now, white gets to chance to block here first. Black can capture these stones, and then white will throw in. And then black can extend. But then when white plays over here, this shape is alive. So black cannot really extend. Black is going to have to go back and capture directly like this. So we're going to get a capture race. White will Hane for sure. And then black will capture these and throw in. This move is very nice. Very clever timing. It means if white... if white connects here, then cut, then you can go ahead and fill the liberty, but you cannot easily play from this side anymore. So black is going to short that while giving up some... while giving up some endgame value, black has shorted it a lot. And in fact, even the whole white life and death might not be that clean now from this. This is quite disturbing. This is very disturbing. Okay, but the whole white life and death has nothing to do with the game. In the actual game, black is going to need to fight this stuff immediately, I guess. This is why you should never resign, indeed. But also, what the heck was Alex doing? He got totally distracted for a moment. He could have just covered that directly, like a while ago, and he was trying to do some fancier stuff. Okay, so we have a game. And now, so black has already made it so that the liberties are like very expanded. Oh, but this one isn't good, is it? Because now white should be able to live like this. Yeah. White is alive now, right? I think that was a terrible mistake by black. White is easily alive, in fact. White can even play like this one now, if he wanted. He actually lives for more points, and then black is going to try to locally kill this one. So we have an entirely different capture race than I was expecting. So white managed to live on the right side, and instead black has chosen to capture race the one with 1,000,000 outside liberties. That was questionable. So we're going to see the exchange now. White must throw in. That's now on the board. And then black must now block here. So we're going to see black block, and then white can capture here, forcing black to throw in like this. Or maybe black will throw in first. Yeah, we're going to see white capture, all that. Black should throw in, locally speaking, I think. And then white will be able to just expand his liberties a lot. He has a lot of outside liberties. So probably enough to go chase this black down. First he pushes, okay. without exchanging anything. Push first, see if you get a ko, I guess. You're a fan of these impossible capturing races. I know that. So from here, we should count liberties as clearly as possible. We know that black is going to get lured in when white captures. Black will eventually have to play here, and then white's Atari will just isn't white just alive? In fact, wait, hasn't white just lived? Because after this, and these stones are removed, and black does this, then white can Atari and it's Sente, and then white is alive. He captures the 3 stones, yeah. So this is just meaningless. This is just meaningless. I forgot that black cannot save those 3 stones, even after white's thrown on the outside instead of the 2 stones. White is alive on both sides, except for the fact that when black captures here, it might be Sente on the right side because he chose the wrong life, right? If this stone had been here, then it would have been easy. He would still be easily alive. But this way, now black's capture there might be Sente to the right side. Yeah? Okay, so this can get exciting again. If this move had just been the diagonal thing, then you wouldn't have to worry, right? But instead, it's it looks like black is forcing on the right side right now, with a threat to push and play here, yeah, and then here it would just die. So if push and here, that would be safe. So it needs to be this one first then. Wait, can white be safe somehow? When white does this, you can push there and play for ko at least. So it's ko, and thus white decides to fill a liberty from here, allowing black to push. If it goes like this, then white here will short the liberties again, and then in total, black has 4 obvious liberties, and then there's this remaining capture thing, which will leave a ko behind. Capture here, 5, and then 6. In total, white can have like 6 liberties to play. Black has to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's going to be something like a 4-step ko, I guess. No, white can be forced to connect here, so black doesn't have to fill all of them. So it's more like a 2-step ko, 3-step ko. Okay, wait. White is hesitating. Yeah, if black needs to save the 3 stones, he loses a lot of liberties. He does not need to save those 3 stones, though. The outside 3 stones there. White has decided to live and leave the right side to be ko. This is now a ko, isn't it? Okay, so he's found a capture race method. Okay, this is an entirely different strategy, where he's looking to force black to connect those 3 stones and then to capture race him directly. This looks like it's going to be another ko. Unless there's something very nice with the clamp here. But this this looks very sketchy for Alex. It does not seem he calculated something clean. Who is winning? Questionable now. Questionable. Should still be white. Should still be white. So it's white's first move. So white looks at the clamp. Okay. If white comes back here, then black needs to play this one. And then in total, this black has... So white has 5 outside liberties now, if it goes straight. And black has 1, 2, 3, and a ko liberty. Or 2. It can be like direct ko if it goes like that. That's really lame. Oh yeah, I'm really in the dark. Let me turn on my proper light, actually. Excuse me. Okay. So now the Atari and connect was bad. So it was questionable whether black should even connect that instead of breaking this part. If he connected on the right there and white captured here, then Black could recapture Incente, leaving a ko behind, and then come back and connect over here, and then all the shared liberties start to become like Black's. Like it starts to look a lot like, I mean, at the moment White is favored in the capture race, I'd say. So it seems more like White is killing than Black is going to be saving here. Or at least than White is dying, but it's still not that clean. I mean, jeez. Oh man, Alex is filling his own liberty from the outside. This doesn't look great. This does not look good. What happened? Alex missed one Tetsuji in the middle there, and then to stop the Tetsuji, he started doing another exciting sequence, and then it's been dodging lots of different exciting sequences with more exciting sequences. And I think some of those sequences he dodged were clean wins, but he does not seem to have a clean win right now. This is just a game at the moment. It seems like we might even see Alex play a direct ko for the life of his group immediately. Like he might just bail out like this, which is a real shame because he doesn't have any more than one direct ko threat. So here Black could capture, White can play one threat, recapture. I don't know how to do that. White plays one threat, comes back, and then Black has threats in the center, doesn't he? Surely. So that's not a threat, but maybe this one is a threat. Maybe that one is a threat on the left side as well. So we're going to see Alex trade away some stuff now. Oh, he's thinking about connecting. If he connects here, then he has 3 liberties in the eye and then 2 outside liberties for a total of 5. And then this is going to end up being a better ko. Okay. Yeah, this is not an endgame anymore. We're not losing points in the endgame. But Black did successfully make it a middle game. So it goes like this. And now we're going to have... some people call it a one-step ko. It's like... Right? So Black is going to Atari on the inside here and then throw in. And then Black... Wait. No. It's not a one-step ko. Is it? No. It's a direct ko. It's another direct ko. This is just another way to make direct ko. Maybe this is a way to make direct ko, which is very minimally better for points. For captured stuns. Black will throw in, White will capture, Black will do the next move, White will play here, Black will need the next ko threat. So actually that's probably the most important thing, is that Alex is wasting one extra ko threat of Black's here. And so that ko threat might be a center one, it might be a left side one here. It seems like we're gonna see capture, all of them get captured here, that way. And then White recapture, and then Black push, and White answer. This is going to be the one ko threat, which Alex allows. And then Black comes back, and White will play this one ko threat. And then, yeah, comes back again. Okay, it's hard. And then Black is going to probably play this ko threat and be ignored. I think this is the thing that we're going to see. So White is going to capture all of this, and Black will capture the... Yeah. This is all White's territory, and then Black will capture over here. We can add another stone. What do you guys think? Is that going to be winning for White? Should be close, right? This is still a direct ko. It turns out to not even be that complicated of a direct ko. I was just confused earlier. Black could Tanuki now, but he has 2 threats right now. So this is currently an approach ko. So Black can right now wait and approach it. That's true. It's good to remember such things. Black should almost certainly start it right now, even though he could wait, because he has what you try to make. Like when you play away from an approach ko like this, you try to make 2 massive ko threats to try to win the game. And right now, Black has those massive ko threats. He has just one ko threat that's enough, I think. One ko threat enough to win, I think. Or enough to at least gain a huge amount. If he decides it's not enough to win, then he might try for more, but it would just be too much to ask for more than this group and the left side group. Those two are huge. You can't ask for more than that. His two threats should be at A and at B, right? White has the co-threat at C at the moment. Is A not enough? Like, A might not be enough to win, but how could you get more from a co-threat? Are you saying like black should play D first? Because I'm pretty sure if black tries such a thing, white is gonna start triggering the co immediately. You don't get enough that way. It's less than A per move, right? What about Q7? So this one we already saw is not a threat. It's not a threat. Even then, black cannot play a B because white C is going to capture those two stones and save the group. Maybe black doesn't have a way. I think the game is close after black captures the left side. We're going to see that, I'm sure. Black is going to play these two stones, and then white is still going to be winning, but not by much. So there it is. And this is the game, as expected. So now, it's white's turn, and white has maybe a small lead, according to the Twitch chat. I didn't count, but the Twitch chat seems to think that white is leading now. It should not be as big as it used to be, because that was a huge coup that black made on the left side there. So now white has to consider, okay, the active endgame spots. There's one here. This is actually active due to the Q1 and Co resource, which is actually quite scary. So B, we should try to make sure that we get that one as white to calm it down, right? And then there's an active spot here at C and an active spot at D, right? And there's also an active thing at E, like this. White +3, says the chat, according to the AI. 3 points is quite close. Okay, so white is pushing and thinking. If it were me, I will play, I think, B first here. I think you can't say that these other ones are bigger. And this A, okay, so that A was aiming at a cut where he could try to use the, yeah, he could try to short the center. So that actually, that would make sense. That one was Sente. We should use that one. All right, so that one is gone. And then we're left with B, C, D, and E as the major endgame areas. C looks like the biggest in Gote, so that's where he's thinking about playing right now. Oh, but that move? Is it right? Okay, D was very large as well. After D, white would have 1.5 points expected there. And if now that black plays it, then black has 7 extra points. Oh, no, 8. No, just, sorry, just 6 because of the capture inside. And then because the other one is actually 7. Okay, and then after that, we have white playing the Hane to try to activate the left side E Aji. So if he would have played at E directly, then black capture, and then he plays in the corner directly, then he would be killed immediately. So first, he's going to try and ask about this shortage, and it seems that, wow, black is being extremely, extremely harsh about it. He's saying, I'll fight this co. I'll do anything. So Alex, luckily he conserved his co-threats around the area of B. My god, and so he gets the cut there for free. And if black actually comes back to connect, it's terrible for black now. So if we see black connect, then white can wedge directly, and it's immediately going to collapse here. Black has to fight this co, but it can't. So that means that black will not ever connect this co, and is trying to fight it as hard as he can. Okay, but this doesn't even look possible for black. It doesn't look remotely possible. Can't we like immediately as white play play here and here and here on the spot? Probably that's too much. Okay. That's too much, but at least white can fight the ko and be comfortable about it. Alright, Alex has the smart endgame idea there. He just got really slack on one moment in there. And then black probably had a real chance when it came to the capture race on the side there, but did not find his switching method, correct switching method, and super low time in the capture race. It's so hard to read everything out and understand what's going on. You know, is one of these things where actually, if I just show you that position, I tell you like study it, take 5 minutes, everybody knows what's going on like really, really quickly. But because it's in the game and it's so intense and there's so many things to consider switching, everybody misses some things sometimes, right? So even though this game quality is generally super high, just like taking snapshots of the lowest moments, it looks really bad. It's surprisingly bad. Okay, black uses this one as his co-threat. That's probably valid. Okay, Alex decided it was valid faster than I would have decided it was valid. But yeah, it's valid. Yeah. Okay, he's smarter about that. Yeah, it is valid. Okay, he plays a real co-threat first before playing his like slightly fake co-threat on the top side. He's worried that that one will be ignored, but this one will definitely not be ignored. The clock time, they both have about 4 minutes, you guys can see, right? And then white captures. So the question is, where will black get the co-threats to fight this kind of ko? Which, even when black wins, black only gains a tiny amount. Tiny, tiny amount. And when white wins, white can break about, what is that? 10 points-ish? G1 is a dame threat, relatively more valuable to save compared to the P1. What do you mean by that, Pritzina? I'm not sure I completely follow you. Why would it be more valuable to save a pointless threat compared to the pointful one? Expecting that the ko might end on the very next move, so we should get the pointful one. Because I think Alex is thinking I should conserve the chance to play either A or B. A is losing a lot, but it gets one more co-threat, if that's necessary. For the last ko, P1 will be used up. Aha! By the time that we get to the last ko, that co-threat will already have been used. So we've used a co-threat that might not exist. Or we've used a co-threat that will definitely exist compared to a co-threat that might not exist later. Alex must answer that one, that's for sure. And then he was threatening to Atari, so Alex is going to have to answer the saving move from black now. And then black comes back. Kind of odd, actually, to come back at that moment. Now, wait, we'll definitely play A, right? I think that's big enough to win. Oh, he does not. I have to say I'm somewhat confused. Oh, black eventually gave up. Then white wins. Oh, white wins the game. That's it. Black couldn't find enough co-threats. I thought black was going to try to continue using the connect here, but there was nothing really threatening after that. The throw in here is so valuable. It should have been played during the ko, I'm sure. And black is realizing now it's all over. He has no choice but to connect, and connect, and connect, and connect. All of the moves will be sente, and white will clean up the whole endgame here. And finally, Alex wins. I mean, he got such a massive lead strategically that he could blunder his entire like life away and then still win. Wow. This game was almost so clean by Alex, but he gave us some excitement at the end. Keep the viewers watching. Appreciate that, Alex. Good job. He knew he was playing on stream, right? The end game is over, unfortunately. I mean, it's not over, but there's nothing left for black to do to change it, and it will now be a clean win for white. He never dropped his lead, so technically it's a flawless victory. Okay. I suppose, if you want to talk about it like that. Here comes all the Ataris. Black is so sad that he has to answer even that one. And connect there is correct, I believe. Looks like the right endgame as well. Gotta connect there. Nothing will happen now. There's no fun left. Black must feel so sad. Is that resignation? That looks like resignation. Maybe? Yeah, they're talking now. Black resigns. Wow. What a game. Okay, I really appreciate how confident Alex was in this part. And also his methodology there, which was just take the space, trust in more space, and believe that you, like, as long as you keep having the continued space to go to, that you will keep having resources. It was hard to organize, but he read precisely with the idea that the space has real value, which I really appreciate. I really appreciate. In the beginning of the game, he got an advantage as well from Black's lackluster play on the bottom right, just allowing himself to die in order to attack that, which the attack looked kind of strong, but just saving it with the Ko was enough. Alex was one step late to starting the Ko, but it was no big deal. He still managed to save in the Ko and then let that happen. Then finally, at the end of the game, Black was losing by 20 points in the end game, and he found the Tetsuji. Alex also saw the Tetsuji, but he must have just had a careless reading moment. And suddenly he had to switch his mind, and we had capture race after capture race after capture race in all sorts of different directions. And finally, Alex managed to make it so that it was a Ko where he captured first, and then he had just enough. He had the one local Ko threat, and he managed to force Black to only capture the left side. And that left side was too small for Black to win the game. So in the ensuing endgame after that, Black tried to fight a desperate Ko in the bottom left corner, but there probably was just no way for Black to get enough Ko threats to make it work. So eventually when Black had to give up the Ko, he lost the game on points. Wow. What a game. I hope you guys enjoyed. That was great. I'm so happy to share with you. This is so fun. And tomorrow we're going to be doing it again. Tomorrow morning I will be covering it, and there will be a round as well tomorrow afternoon, about 5 hours ago, I guess. 5 hours ago tomorrow, and then in the morning tomorrow as well. What is that, like 10 hours ago tomorrow? No, 9 hours ago tomorrow. That's when I'll be talking about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Yeah, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Bye-bye.